Hey babies, and dragons lay eggs, so let's talk about dragon reproduction. Today we're discussing the Skydancer dragon type from my mating manual, so let's jump into it. In class, as a reminder, the Skydancer dragon is another name for the Eastern style dragons, which means, like Shenron, they long. Like this is a normal 5'10" person, and this is the schlong of an adult Skydancer dragon. And that's because of the fact that Skydancer dragons, when they hit adulthood, reach about 90 feet long, meaning that their schlongs are about 20 feet long. And much like an ostrich, their thing actually wiggles and worms around. And unlike the orc, the great thing about the Skydancer dragon is that they do, in fact, have clitoris. And whenever you're looking at the full length, the actual reproductive system is near the back legs, which we can see here. And specifically, if you're down there looking for the opening, you will actually see this little weird pattern right here. This is the opening to the vahuha. And right underneath this center shell piece right here, that's where you'll find the clitoris. It's hard to see on the outside, but it's hard to miss on the inside, boy. And yes, researchers have confirmed it is a real thing. To accommodate the massive girth of their male counterparts over here, there is actually an extremely long tube that runs through the length of their body, and this is the you-know-what. You may notice something, is the fact that there is no cervix here. What's going on here? It just kind of ends. And that's because whenever we talk about the male reproductive system, they don't actually have a hole at the head. Instead, along the sides where these notches are, on the opposite side are holes where they will spurt from. These are actually mini testicles. And so while on a male counterpart, these two testicles down here do supply the majority of the baby batter. However, there are other nodes around here to help, even the distribution of the miracle juice. And unlike the tank version or the Western style dragon where they simply slide it in, and as soon as basically the dong attaches to the sperm cap, it opens up and it shoots. These guys actually have to go back and forth traditional reproductive methods that humans would be familiar with. And this is because while they do have nodes here, they are literally going up and down, squirting as the time comes. So they want to make sure that they're able to hit as many of these nodes as possible. These little caps that you find on the sides of the vagina are actually called the sperm cone because obviously sperm goes in it. Sperm then flows into the uterus where there will be an egg if there is anything to reproduce. An actual really interesting thing is if there is no egg in the uterus, it will actually not open up to allow sperm to go into the uterus because if it does, then whenever this pipe opens up, it could actually cause an infection down later in the line. So speaking of this pipe, you notice that there is a ton of wiring here, and that's because that is called the magnum. That is the reproductive pipe that goes from the uterus down into what we call the fetal chute, or this big name, indubitabulum. If you know how chickens reproduce, you know how this works. This is basically chicken reproduction right here, because these are the ovaries, and there are 4 sacs of ovaries that hang on the east and west side of the dragon's body. And so what happens is they actually lay eggs like chickens very often, and an unfertilized egg will look like this. And once sperm comes into contact with these eggs through the uterus here, then guess what? They will actually become fertilized, harden, and then you'll get the traditional egg that you're used to seeing. Effectively, how this whole system works, the ding-dong goes in, it squirts, it goes into the sperm dome here. My apologies, sperm cone. It will then coat the unfertilized egg, which will then become fertilized. And then after it ends up laying the egg, the baby will pop out. But the egg will actually, once it's ready to come out, will actually shoot down the entire length of the vagina and out the side. But if you'd like to be one of the lead researchers to help figure out how dragons reproduce in other species, consider reading and joining the mating manual with your own original character, because we need to field the breeding team Diamond Clitorang up. You can do that by grabbing a Diamond Guild subscription, or if you just want to support the mating manual, go ahead and grab a Ruby Gold. Or if you just want to read some good manga, read the lore where the world is based on by grabbing a copy of The Devil's Deal or The Night of Slaughter.